Justin Jefferson is playing out of his mind. We got Kirko Chains doing his thing.
Every single one of his completion or his catches against the Buffalo Bills had a sub 50% completion probability. You know, there's already people out there legitimately saying like it's the best catch in NFL history. Justin Jefferson had as good of a rookie season as Odell Beckham did.
Look at the release.
There's your separation.
Great route.
Stutter and go. Gets by clean.
That is unbelievable.
May be the greatest catch I've ever seen.
I'm going to start with Justin Jefferson because my God, my dude went absolutely ham sandwich. 10 catches, 193 and a touchdown. And this is no cap, no exaggeration. Like Justin Jefferson legitimately single-handedly gave the Vikings the victory. Like he kept them in that game. There's no way in hell they win that game without the heroics of Justin Jefferson.
I think it's a statement game from Justin Jefferson. You know, it's a game where he shows you that he's not just one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, which he's certainly one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. He's also just one of the best like non-quarterbacks in the NFL, one of the most valuable non-quarterbacks in the NFL. And, you know, it's funny, like the one thing that you could say about Justin Jefferson so far this year, from a pure stats perspective, because this whole week there's so many examples. You know, the CeeDee Lamb thing we'll talk about a little bit, but like, you know, it's almost as if the box score, just traditional stats, don't do a very good job of showing how a wide receiver is really playing. Because we have no questions about Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson's a great player, but like it just always felt like there's a little bit meat left on the bone with Justin Jefferson this year. A lot of it is mostly because, you know, the downfield plays weren't there. The plays in like 50-50 ball contested situations weren't there. You know, Kirk Cousins is having his lowest touchdown rate and adjusted yards per attempt Vikings season so far this year, at least heading into week 10. I haven't revisited the number since then. He just hasn't been as efficient. And I think a lot of that was sort of making, not that you would call Justin Jefferson a disappointment in fantasy, right? But
oh God, no. He
wasn't having quite like the nuclear level season, but a lot of it was because they weren't really getting him the ball downfield. They weren't really getting him the ball in contested situations. I saw Next Gen Stats put out that every single one of his completion or his catches against the Buffalo Bills had a sub 50% completion probability. Like they were all high degree of difficulty catches, and Justin Jefferson just kind of took that game over, man. So, you know, Gelhar and I, when you missed the podcast a couple of weeks ago, we had the conversation about AJ Brown and, you know, is AJ Brown a top 5 receiver in the NFL? And it's like, we were both in agreement. Yes, he is. But then at the same time, it's like, well, where does he rank inside that top 5? Like, is he over Justin Jefferson? I don't know, because I mean, Justin Jefferson he's that good. Like, I think he is one of the most valuable non-quarterbacks in the NFL. To me, that was one of those games where it's like, you know, and especially the catch, like that's going to be replayed over and over again. You know, there's already people out there legitimately saying like it's the best catch in NFL history. I don't know if it's the best catch in NFL history. No. You know, I mean, we had this conversation, and I understand that it's in the conversation, like it's in the realm of possibility. I get that, you know. It doesn't matter. I always go back to the Odell catch because, dude, he's going down there running full steam, full on, full head of steam, just full stride, and has to lay out on the sideline and make that play deep downfield. That's a harder catch. Now, I'm pretty sure he got like 3 fingers like on it too. Like the 3 fingers and the thumb.
Exactly.
Like, I don't even think he got it fully palmed. Yeah.
It's just, and I'm not taking anything away from Justin Jefferson's catch. I started this segment by saying the dude absolutely dominated that game. I'm just saying, if you go back and watch it, it's not like he's going, you know, full speed, right? Like he has to wait for that ball to get there. There's a defender obviously in the area. That doesn't necessarily, it like the way he made the catch is incredible. It's contested and all those things, but it was happening at a speed where you're like, okay, it's like, I don't want to say slow developing, but you could kind of sort of see the play happening as it's happening. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. Oh, totally.
Whereas the Odell thing was a lightning strike. You're just like, there's no way in hell he's catching that ball. Oh my God, he caught that ball.
I said this about Justin Jefferson after his rookie season. I was like, that was the most impressive rookie season reception perception results since Odell Beckham. Like, I think Justin Jefferson had as good of a rookie season as Odell Beckham did. He just didn't have that that catch, that statement moment on Sunday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys, where everybody saw it playing for a New York team. But I mean, Beckham at his peak was like a legendary talent doing stuff like that. But you could also say offsetting, like in terms of which one is better. And I do think this stuff is kind of stupid, right? Like, I'm not trying to be like, one of these big TV shows, like stay tuned next to tell you why the Justin Jefferson catch actually wasn't that cool. Okay. Like, I'm not actually trying to do that, but you could say that the Jefferson one in terms of the moment, like what it meant, 4th and 18 in that, like you said, they don't win that game without Justin Jefferson.
Right.
So that gives him more credit to it. But yeah, I think it was one of those games where, a wide receiver truly took the game over, put the offense on his back and said like, yeah, I am having that type of season, even if the stats don't always show it, because this offense is still sort of kind of coalescing. What I came away from that thinking was, number one, statement game for Justin Jefferson. Number two, like, can we stop with this whole, like, the Vikings are not, like, they're not that good. There's this, like, look, they have a great record. So many things are coming together for them. They just beat a Bills team
Buffalo.
that even if Josh Allen's not playing like his best right now, he's certainly making too many mistakes. They're still one of the 3 best teams in the NFL, period. Like, everybody's Super Bowl favorite coming into this year. And, I almost think kind of, James, like I said, mentioned the Kirk Cousins stuff. I almost kind of think, like, if you're a Vikings fan, you could almost feel kind of good that, like, hey, we have this incredible record and our quarterback's not even playing that great right now. Like, from an efficiency perspective, like, what if Kirk Cousins, who's always been a streaky player, like Kirk Cousins having rocky moments. Wake me up when there's something new to talk about there. That's been Kirk Cousins' entire career. Like, what if he just catches fire at some point and then this team could really make a run in the NFC? I mean, why not? Look at the NFC right now. They totally could do it.
Oh, it's wide. The NFC's wide open. They absolutely could do it. I mean, look, they've obviously locked up their division practically already. We're going into week number 11. You talk about Kirk Cousins and streaky quarterbacks. I mean, that's what the NFC championships are all about, are streaky quarterbacks. It's like, go back 15 freaking years, it's like, it's nothing but just streaky guys getting hot at the right moment. Nick Foles, Eli Manning. My colleague John Hansen is a lifelong Vikings fan, and he just has such a, like, tumultuous relationship with that franchise.
Oh yeah,
as you can imagine, and it's like,
I mean, James, I said the words Vikings fans can feel good, and I don't think there's a Vikings fan out there that feels good at any point ever.
Never. And that's the thing with John, he wants to believe, but he doesn't believe, and it's like, and he was saying, like, real Viking fans, like lifelong Viking fans, it's like they're happy, but they're not like hopeful. I don't know, because, like, the hope has just been stomped out of them for so many years, So right now they're happy, but they're not, like, that's the way he put it. They're happy, but they're not hopeful, because with hope brings pain. It's a lot of fun talking about the Vikings for a lot of reasons. Justin Jefferson is playing out of his mind. We got Kirk O'Chains doing his thing, like on the plane with the ice shirt off and just loving it, man. Like, and all those things. This is just such a fun Vikings team to watch, because it's a roller coaster. Like, a lot of these games are really, really close. They're 8-1. It's not like they've dominated any of these games. You know what I'm saying?
No. Yeah, no, I agree. They're just such a funny team because they have had this, like, I don't know. They've just had, there's just, again, it feels like there's a meat left on the bone with the Vikings, even on offense, where they have this, like, superstar player in Justin Jefferson. Dalvin Cook, like that run yesterday that Dalvin Cook had against the Bills, I feel like that was kind of the first time that Dalvin Cook's had one of those, like, massive trademark runs like that really hasn't been there. The offensive line from a pass protection standpoint hasn't played incredible all year long. I think that's still gelling, and that's kind of, again, the funny thing is that they have this record and they're really maybe not playing as great as their record might indicate, but they have the talent to do it.
A couple notes here. Okay. One, I just wanted to point out the fact that all this offseason talk of getting Dalvin Cook, you mentioned Dalvin Cook, getting Dalvin Cook more involved in the pass game, that obviously was a lie, because Dalvin Cook right now is averaging 3.7 targets per game. I believe that's a career low for him. A career low, Matt.
Amazing
think
stuff.
about that. That is incredible. It's like, what? It's not even average for him. It's like, come on, dude. What happened here? I thought we were supposed to get him more involved in the passing game. That's obviously not the case. And the other thing I want to bring up, and because it's like, because we talked about this, we go harken all the way back to week 1, Matt. Harken all the way back to week 1. You went on and you said, oh, I could see Jamar Chase being the first receiver ever to have 2,000 receiving yards.
You mean Justin Jefferson, not Jamar.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase, to speak like
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, Justin Jefferson. First receiver ever to have 2,000 receiving yards. And then, of course, the next 2 weeks, it was like, nah, well, that's not going to happen. Guess what?
Just a little off that pace.
Guess what? We're
What?
back, baby.
I know, right?
After 193 and through 10 games, Justin Jefferson is on pace for 2,003 yards, Matt. What a crazy topsy-turvy season.
Justin Jefferson on the season just averaging 9.6 air yards per target. Like that's the thing. Like the more they can get him the ball in deep downfield situations, in high leverage situations, I think the better Justin Jefferson is. You know, again, 308 receiving yards alone the last 2 weeks, and his air yards per target's up at 3.4 the last 2 weeks. So they've started to get that downfield passing game working. That's gonna have to happen if he's gonna have 2,000 receiving yards, man. But I mean, what a special player. He's just,
yeah.
I think he just goes to show, like, I know I'm going to, talk about route running, shock. I'm going to talk about technique, shock. But like, that's what was special about Justin Jefferson. I think he kind of got overlooked because he wasn't really, I mean, that was a flashy ass catch he just had. He wasn't really like a flashy player in college. He was just so rock solid. I mean, he just looked like Keenan Allen, playing in college football, which isn't that exciting for some people, but it's like, man, he already has a mastery of that. What if he adds the other stuff? It's like he could become the best receiver in football, and that's exactly what he's been so far.